Alrighty. We're gonna check this hive out. Like I said a while ago, you can tell a lot by the hive by the weight. It's kind of light. That one's a little bit heavier. So hit him with a little bit of smoke. In case you can't tell, kind of close to the high weight. This is a little bee yard that I just started this year. It's right across from my house. I need to change these straps around. That way they're a little easier to get off. A little smoke under the hood. Now what we got, one full frame covered, rest of them, the bees are mainly right here. There's nothing on these outside frames. So my initial reaction to that is, these bees aren't doing good. But then again, these frames ain't never been drawed out. When you have a hive like this, you're looking for wax moth damage, bee larvae, or beetle larvae. See, this frame here has had wax moth damage from the past, but it was probably just a frame I threw it in there. There's one, if you've never seen a hive beetle, right there's one. Well, there's two hive beetles. That right there is a hive beetle. That right there is a hive beetle. If you see a hive beetle in your hive, not the end of the world. Just crush them. We'll let the bees take care of the other one. What they do with the hive beetles is they normally keep them wrangled up. If you've got bees, you're going to have hive beetles, like it or not. That's just part of it. Very crappy brood pattern. What it looks like is this is just a bad queen. Some queens are good, some queens are bad. As you can see, there's brood right here, very little. There is some eggs that has been laid, but not very many. I'm just going to chalk this hive being weak up to a crappy queen. As you can see, brood pattern's crap. Let's see if we can find her. Very little honey stores could be another problem. Reason why she's not laying very well. Matter of fact, this hive has very little to no honey stores. No pollen. And once again, we can chalk that up to a crappy queen. If she's not telling the workers to go out and get pollen and nectar, then they're not going to do it. So one option we got is we could throw a honey frame or two in here to see if that'll help kickstart her and get this hive back to where it needs to be at. Or we could just let nature run its course and let them die. The bad part about a hive being this weak is you can have problems with the wax moths, which we have the beginning signs of wax moths on the bottom of this hive. They're not actually in the comb. So what I'm going to do is break this hive down a little bit. we're gonna take all the foundation out that hadn't been drawn. If we do have a little bit of drawn foundation, drawed out foundation, we're going to slide it over closer to the bees. Now see, that one's only partially drawed out. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to take this one out. And what I'll do is give these bees just enough of the hive that they can defend. I'm maybe going to take that comb out. Well, see, there's nothing drawn out on this. And there's a hive beetle. 2 hive beetles. So what I'll do, hopefully that wind's not picking up in the camera. I'm going to kill that hive beetle there. And that one right there. I'm going to break this hive down to just 4 frames. And the reason why I'm doing that is so these bees will be able to defend this. I could go home, go back over to the house and get a 5-frame nuke and put them in it. See all that right there? That's wax moth on the bottom board of the hive. So at one time, it looks like the wax moths were trying to take over this hive, or they're fixing to try to. So that's another reason to break this hive down. Now what I've done, I've shrunk them down to just 4 frames. That's something that they can actually defend and protect against. There goes another hive beetle. That'll give these bees a chance. I'm going to feed these bees. I'm going to probably have to go home and make up some sugar water and stuff, and I'm going to end up feeding these bees. So that's what's going on with this hive. We broke it down. You can take these frames home and put them in a garbage bag and freeze them. I have a freezer at my house that's set up just for freezing bee equipment. The reason why you freeze is it kills any eggs, any larvae, anything else that's on those frames. That way if you put them in another hive, it doesn't spread to it. So I've broke these bees down to a manageable thing, and we're going to see what happens with them. So we'll keep you posted on that hive. I'm going to get these frames up and put the top back on it. I think I got a box in the truck. But if you have a weak hive, you show signs of the hive beetles. You know, if you see 4 or 5 hive beetles in your hive, it's not the end of the world. The bees can take care of that themselves. If you start to see signs of wax moths in a hive, you need to break that hive down. If it's a double stacked hive, you need to take it down to 1 box, give them just what they can defend, and they'll actually take care of the wax moth problem themselves. So hope y'all learning from the videos. If you got any questions, put them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe so you'll know when the other videos are coming out. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. Alright, so what we got, if you remember, which you probably will because I'm splicing this in on the video, these 2 hives right here are queenless. Now I did another hive inspection a while ago, and I had a hive that's probably swarmed, and found a queen cell. That queen cell's hatched out, this one hasn't. Now what that means is either this one was capped later than this one, or this is a dead queen cell. Not 100% sure. Only way to know is to put it in the hive and see if it hatches out. So this is the hive that's got a little bit of wax moth trying to start on them. So I'm going to spread the frames apart, put this queen cell in there, give it about 2 days, come back and see if this queen's hatched out. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And when you do this, you make sure you don't crush your queen cell. Of course, you're not going to be able to close your frames all the way up, which is fine. But that's how we're going to solve that problem. Now, being we got a queen cell in here, if that queen will go ahead and hatch out, what we can do is still combine these two hives, and we won't have to put a frame of eggs and larvae in there, which will save us a little bit of time, which will be a good thing, because the longer they're queenless, the longer it takes for them to recover, and the more chance they got of being taken over by hive beetles and wax moths. So that's how we fix that situation. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. That way you know when the update comes out on these two hives, you'll know what's going on along with everybody else. So we're going to wait about 2 or 3 days before we combine these two hives, just to see what that queen cell is going to do. And depending upon what that queen cell does, depending upon it, then that's decides on what kind of course we're going to take as far as, you know, making these two hives queen right. So hope y'all enjoying the videos, hope y'all learning from them. If you will, please like and subscribe. Thanks to all my subscribers. The channel's growing pretty good. We're almost at 1,500 subscribers at this point in time. So thanks. Stick around. There'll be some update videos coming out. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.